What is going on, everyone? As you can see from the title of the video, this is a video that I had hoped to never have to make. I am making it here today because I want to make sure that each and every one of you is safe as you can be in your investment journeys. And I want you to be able to learn from all of the things that I've done right, but as well as all of the things that I've done wrong. So that you guys are aware, I now have access to my crypto again, but I had lost access to it for a period of 4 days, which may not sound like a long time, but with the amount of money that I had invested, it was extremely stressful, and it's never a situation that I want to put myself through again or see any one of you get put through. So I hope you stay through with me to the end of this video so that you understand some of the risks with keeping your crypto on exchanges, especially with all of the volatility we've been experiencing recently in the markets, and what the best play could be for you if you'd like to make sure that your crypto is as secure as possible for long term until you're ready to put it back onto an exchange and sell it. Guys, as we can see recently, a couple of the major exchanges have actually either been limiting or pausing withdrawals from their exchange, and that can be very stressful if you're an investor who has funds on that exchange. We can see that last Monday, the world's largest crypto exchange, Binance, temporarily paused Bitcoin withdrawals because of network congestion. Now, this was resolved within a few hours, but if you're someone who likes to have access to your funds as quickly and as seamlessly as possible, this would obviously start to cause concerns for you. And then when we follow that up with another exchange like Babel Finance freezing withdrawals, we can see that it's becoming a familiar pattern, especially with the volatility that we've seen in the crypto markets. Exchanges seem to be pausing withdrawals more and more. So we need to be mindful of these things. Where is our money and how can we make sure that we have access to it? And finally, one that you probably are all familiar with is the Celsius exchange. Celsius suspended withdrawals, locking up billions in user funds amid what they quoted as extreme market conditions. Now, we're not going to read through the article. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with it, but Celsius, which was a major exchange, has basically frozen all users' assets, and none of the users have access to log into their accounts to transfer or withdraw their funds off of their accounts. So, as an example, if you have your OMI or another cryptocurrency on an exchange right now, if that exchange was to freeze those funds, for all intents and purposes, no longer belong to you. You don't have access to do what you would like to do with those exchanges. And what really hammers home this point, and what I think all of you should be aware of, is the terms of service that come along with a lot of these exchanges, because they're a lot more scary if you actually read some of them. Now, some of the major exchanges aren't as bad, but I'll give you an example with Celsius. Under their terms of service for the consent to Celsius use of digital assets, they have a section here where it says that in the event that Celsius becomes bankrupt, enters liquidation, or is otherwise unable to repay its obligations, any eligible digital assets used in the earn service or as collateral under the borrow service may not be recoverable, and you may not have any legal remedies or rights in connection with Celsius's obligations to you other than your rights as a creditor of Celsius under any applicable laws. What this basically means is that if Celsius goes bankrupt or runs into financial issues, they can take your money and use it to pay off their creditors so that they're no longer on the hook for it, but then you don't have that money. They have essentially taken your money and they're using it, and you no longer have it, which is extremely scary if you have money on an exchange. And in my situation, what took place was I use Ascendex, as I'm sure many of you do, to stake your OMI tokens, and I lost access to the platform for 4 days. There was an issue with the SMS 2FA codes going out, which you need to log in, as well as withdraw or transfer any crypto on the platform, and the codes were not sending. Now, what I've been able to gather after speaking to support for several days is that this issue is specific to individuals that live in Canada, and they are working on fixing the issue. But as you can imagine, if you have tens of thousands of dollars sitting on an exchange without having access to it for 4 days, it can be very stressful. Even if you have a few $100s on it, it can be very stressful. So keeping my crypto on an exchange, especially during the times of as much volatility as we're seeing right now, is just no longer the best play for me to make. You combine the issue with the SMS 2FA, with the fact that the OMI staking program has now reduced its reward APY from 10% to 5%, and it starts to make very little sense to keep my funds on an exchange when I can move them somewhere else to make sure that they're more secure until the markets recover. Now, if you guys are watching this video right now and you have your funds on Ascendex and you are locked out because you are in Canada, submit a support ticket to Ascendex and ask to unbind your SMS 2FA code. They will go through the process. You have to submit some information and it takes about 24 hours. But then once you have access to your account again, you can bind Google Authenticator and you should have access to your funds, which is why I now have access to my funds again. So make sure that you guys do that sooner rather than later, because once again, if you're in a situation similar to me, you are looking to pull your funds off of exchanges as soon as possible to put them in a safer place. Now, if you guys do have your OMI staked on Ascendex and you're trying to figure out how to unstake it, what you're going to do is click on My Wallet on your main screen and go into your investment account. Once you're in your investment account, you'll see the screen similar to what's in front of you right now. And back in the bottom right corner, you'll click on Redeem. Now, as you can see here, you have two different options. You have a regular redemption and an instant redemption. The regular redemption will take 7 days in order to unlock your OMI tokens, but there is no fee associated with those tokens being unlocked. And after 7 days, you will have access to them and be able to put them wherever you want. If you choose instant redemption, you'll see that you'll get your OMI tokens immediately, but you're also going to be paying a 3% fee, meaning that, for as an example, if you have 1 million OMI tokens staked, you would be losing 30,000 OMI tokens in order to immediately unlock your OMI tokens. So that's something you need to be mindful of. I can't make the decision for you. I went with the regular redemption. It took 7 days. This is something that I made a decision for last week, as some of you are aware if you've been following me on social media. But you got to make the decision that makes the most sense for you. Taking that 3% fee might make sense for you depending on how you're feeling. Otherwise, give it the 7 days and then you can pull your tokens off of Ascendex. What I'm going to be doing with my tokens now that they are unstaked and I have access to them is I'm going to be moving them to a cold storage wallet. Now, there are a few options for where you can move your tokens. You can move it to a MetaMask or a Trust wallet, which is more of a hot wallet. It's an individual wallet that you own and you can download an app on your phone or you can access via a web browser. And it does keep your tokens fairly safe. However, it's still connected to the internet and there is a conceivable possibility that that could be hacked or you could run into issues. So if you're looking for the absolute safest place that you can store your crypto, especially if you're not going to be using it for quite a while, you've already bought your bag and you're just looking to hold it, your best option is to put it in a cold storage wallet. Now, I'm not going to recommend which cold storage wallet you guys should pick. I went with the Ledger, but there are a couple different options. I also own an Akomi Secure wallet. However, I know that it's quite frequently sold out and likely not a lot of you will be able to get your hands on it. So it didn't make sense to focus on that as a video. I will be making a video on how to put OMI tokens onto an Akomi Secure wallet at some point. But after speaking to a couple different people and doing my own research, I felt the most comfortable with picking the Ledger. And as you can see on their website here, there's two different options. I went with the Ledger Nano X. I ordered it the other day and it should come in either later today or tomorrow. And then I will be making a step-by-step guide video as to how to transfer your OMI tokens onto the Ledger, whether it be from layer 2 on the VeVe web app or whether it be on layer 1 for an exchange. I'll be doing videos on both of those. I picked the Ledger Nano X. The reason that I did, they're very similar overall. However, I did like the fact that the Bluetooth connection exists on the Ledger Nano X, which means it makes it a little more easier to manage your funds. You can see it via their mobile app and it's a little bit more user friendly. However, both of them have the same secure encryption. So if you're just looking for somewhere to park your funds and you don't have the extra money, you can always just pick up the Nano S Plus. Both of them do effectively the exact same thing. And if you guys are going to pick up a Ledger because you don't own one already, I'm not sponsored by Ledger, but I will have a code down in the description down below. If you click on the link to the video, it will redirect you to the Ledger site, but I am an affiliate with them. I did sign up, meaning that if you guys do purchase a Ledger using my link, I do receive a small rebate from that. I really do appreciate it if you do choose to do it, but of course, guys, absolutely no obligation. I wouldn't recommend buying your Ledger from a third party, from like Amazon or somewhere else. I would buy it directly from the Ledger site. So even if you're not going to use my code, make sure that you go to Ledger directly because you want to make sure that you're getting this from the source. If you're not, it's possible that someone could have already accessed the device and set it up, meaning that if you go to put crypto on it, they could inadvertently take it from you. So I should have that video out in the next day or so, guys. At the end of the day, with a lot of the volatility in the markets, it makes the most sense for me to pull my crypto off of any exchanges or anywhere that it's likely to be at risk and put it somewhere where it's the most secure until we start to see the markets calm down, less volatility, and I know that my funds are safe and that I have the keys to them, meaning that no exchange or any other third party can lock me out. If you guys have any questions about the ledger, about the buying process, any other questions about crypto, exchanges, or anything, let me know in the comment section down below. I did feel obligated to make this video because I do make videos on my channel telling you guys how to stake your OMI on exchanges, and now I'm pulling them off and letting you guys know it may not be as safe. I'm really learning through this with the rest of you guys, and I just don't want to see anyone lose out on their investment. So I really do hope that you guys take the time to watch this video and consider your options. Once again, while it's not financial advice, do your own research and understand the benefits of getting a cold storage wallet to make sure that your assets are secure, especially if you've invested quite a bit of money. The last thing that I would ever want to see in my comments is someone saying that they lost all of their crypto because it got locked on an exchange or they had an issue with their MetaMask or Trust Wallet being hacked. So let me know, guys, what you think about all of this, whether you're going to be picking up a ledger, whether you're excited to see that step-by-step video, and how you're overall feeling about the markets. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for all the support as always. I will be putting out more regular content now that KYC, MTL, and everything is starting to come together. Stay safe out there in the markets, guys. I love you all. Peace.